Hello and welcome to Red Ribbon Week resources utilizing QuaverHealth and PE to promote a drug-free future. My name is Kara Williams and I'm a health and PE training specialist here at QuaverEd. And I'm just going to take you through a few different activities that you can utilize with your students. I'll give you the QR codes so that you can use them if you don't have access to the platform. And I'm going to show you how to search for them if you do have access. So let's get started. The first activity we're going to talk about is called just general health versus dangerous substances. And this one's a great one to use just to get that introduction started. So let's listen to what it has to say.
Keeps telling us to avoid drugs and alcohol, but I don't know why these things are so bad.
We have to avoid drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and even cleaning supplies because they can be very dangerous. Here, look at this week's general health comic.
So I'm just going to click the start button.
My name is General Health, and I'm here to tell you why you should avoid drugs, alcohol, and dangerous substances. Stop right there, vaping. These dangerous devices release clouds of smoke that hurt your lungs and make you cough. Once a user starts vaping, it's awfully hard to quit. Not so fast, drugs. Beware. Drugs can damage the brain, heart, and other important organs. They are so dangerous that users end up in jail.
I'm going to go ahead and press pause right there. Notice that this screen is minimized right here, but you can click this square here. It will make it full screen for you to utilize with your students. We're not going to watch the whole video. I'm just here to give you a few tips and tools that you can utilize. When you find any of the screens that you like, you can also find out how to utilize them better by going to settings and going down to the notes area. When you click on notes, you're going to be able to find anything you might need to utilize for this particular activity. It's going to give you background information, it's going to give you navigation information, and some different ways to talk about it with students. In addition, if you find an activity and you like it, go ahead and favorite it, because that way you can find it later if you want to customize it or add it to a lesson. So in order for you to access this activity, I'm going to go ahead and share the QR code. Give you a second to pause this video if you want to scan that QR code. And if you already have access to the platform, you can simply type in the words general health versus dangerous substances in Resource Manager, and you will be able to find that activity in there. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next activity. Our next activity is a resource for our younger students, and it's called Zup and Dupe. And Zup and Dupe is built out in a comic book setting, but talks to younger students about the ways that different drugs and alcohol and substances can affect our bodies. So it's two little aliens. They come down and they are going to experience Earth. Let's get started.
Zup and Dupe are twin aliens traveling across the solar system in search of healthy habits. When Zup and Dupe try a healthy habit, their bodies glow brightly. But when they try something unhealthy or dangerous, their bodies shrink and shrivel. Zup and Dupe travel to Earth to try some of the things that humans do. Let's take a closer look.
So we're going to go through the comic with our students. Maybe before we get started, we have a little brainstorming. What do they say happens if they choose healthy foods? They grow big, they get bright. What happens if they choose bad things? They're going to shrink and shrivel. We're going to push that page button to move through. And you're going to see two different ways that you can cover this with the students. We're going to have the kids tell us, is this the healthy influence or is this the healthy influence? They're going to balance on one foot if they think this is. They're going to do star jumps if they think this is. We've got a discussion piece. Who made the healthy choice? Who made the unhealthy choice? How can you tell? And let's hear a little bit about the story.
When Dupe arrived on Earth, he saw someone drinking alcohol, and he decided to give it a try. Dupe's body began to shrink and shrivel. Alcohol is dangerous for a kid like Dupe because his brain is still developing. Dupe offered the alcohol to Zup, but Zup said, "No thanks. That's not good for me. I want something healthy. So Zoop ate colorful fruits and vegetables, and his body gained a healthy glow.
Now, remember, if you want to know what to do on a page, go to Settings, click on Notes, and there is going to be the information for you to utilize. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you before we move on. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to scan that QR code. And remember, we're going to search that. You're going to search for Zup and Dupe in Resource Manager to find the activity. Now, I just showed you a little bit of it. There's a few more things here. Notice anytime we see page arrows, we're going to move through the activity. So as we move through, now we're going to talk about vaping or smoking. We're going to talk about drugs. And then again, we're going to have those discussion pieces. We can talk about Zup and use the one pose. When we're talking about Dupe, we use the other pose. We can have them show us the pose that they think is the healthy choice. Lots of different ways you can utilize this activity. Let's see what we've got next. This is a fun one. This is medicine. It's a music video. So it's going to have movement built in that the kids can follow along to. This could be pretty much used with any of your grade levels, but let's just take a look and see what it looks like.
My throat feels scratchy. Well, feeling a cold or medicine you should take to make you feel alright. You sleep tonight. Oh, just use it only for yourself. Send you to the pharmacy. Think close and they give you the script. How many? How often? Do it. Just use it only for yourself.
Go ahead and pause it there. On these music videos, you've got that whole health concept being taught. This one's about basic medicine, over the counter, prescription. It talks about how we're going to use medicine appropriately, whether it's prescription or not, how we don't want to use it inappropriately. Lots of different ways you can utilize this, a discussion that you can have with the students. And you have the ability to turn on that full screen version. You can also turn on closed captioning should you need it. And remember, settings, notes to get more information about it. In addition, I'm going to go ahead and share that QR code if you want to use this in your classroom and you do not have access to QuaverHealth and PE. Pause the video if you need to take a chance to scan that. And if you do use QuaverHealth and PE, notice all you need to do is type in the word medicine into Resource Manager's search bar, and you should be able to find this resource fairly easily. There also should be a Spanish version available when you type this in to find as well. We're going to go ahead and jump to our next activity. This one's getting in that area with our older students, and this is my reasons to say no. So you're going to select a topic, and then you're going to choose one of the dimensions of health that this topic might affect. So this one is alcohol, and you can see as we click through the different areas, the different dimensions of health, it's going to give us different information. So this one says alcohol, our social influence is going to be that it makes it harder to think clearly, causing you to embarrass yourself or say something hurtful to friends and family. You've got the emotional part, the physical part. Now, as we click through, every substance is going to have those different things that are described for it. We could also take this and, bring in another text tool and have the kids brainstorm things. We can circle different, what do you see this is doing? When you search for this in Resource Manager, what you can do is just type in my reasons to say no in the Resource Manager search bar. If you have access to QuaverHealth and PE, and if you don't, go ahead, pause this video and scan that QR code so that you can access it and utilize it in your classroom. If you find any resources as you're going through and you want to save them for later, there is a favorite button right there. So I just removed it because I had favorited it earlier, but I go here, I click on favorite, and now notice that heart is red. I'll be able to find this in my resource manager, my favorites area later if I want to access it. Moving through to our next activity. This one is going to take actual students and have them talk through some different peer influences. So we're talking not just about the substances, but those influences that come from our peers. So let's just take a look.
There's this new kid in our class. He seems nice, but he hasn't made any friends yet. My friends have started to tease the new kid and want me to join in, but I know that is not okay. What are some ways we can stand up for what's right?
What are some ways we can stand up for what is right?
So while that particular one doesn't exactly go with drugs and alcohol, we're talking about standing up for what is right, what is wrong. And so this is all going to tie in together. Let's hear what some of the others have to say.
My friend said that he was hanging out with some kids after school and they found a beer in a garage refrigerator. Each of them took a sip and then handed the bottle to my friend. He felt pressure to drink it. What are some ways that we can say no?
What are some ways we can say no?
So these are just going to be quick little videos you can use with your students to help engage a conversation. It could be a turn and talk, it can be popcorn, it can be small group, really however you want to utilize it, but it makes it really, really centric to kids. It hears it from their voice and it gives you those talking points for them. To use this activity, you can scan this QR code, so feel free to pause the video to scan it. Or again, if you do have access to QuaverHealth and PE, you can simply go in and type in peer influence. You're going to find that in that search bar of Resource Manager. You can pull up peer influence and find this activity. Then once you've opened it, go to your settings, go ahead and favorite it, and you'll be able to find it later in your favorites area. Here's a final one that we've done. This one's called true or false. Is it a dangerous substance? So we're going to read each statement, then select true or false. Now, I've got some different things I want to show you that you can utilize with this one. So let's say we've got secondhand smoke isn't dangerous. Is that true or false? We click false. We see that we got it correct. We've also got a professional here. So let's hear what she has to say.
Secondhand smoke, which is exhaled by a cigarette smoker, can damage your lungs.
So this gives the students the ability to hear from a professional and know what could happen from these substances. Now, another way you could use this is to incorporate some movement in the classroom. So let's say we go to vaping is safer than smoking cigarettes. If I wanted to do some other things with my students, I could add some text boxes and notice we could do jumping jacks for true, we could do toe touches for false, for them to give me the answer, or we can have them show us a thumbs up or a thumbs down based on what they think the answer is. So vaping is safer than smoking cigarettes. Let's say they said true. Notice it's going to give us that try again. So we click false, then it's correct. We also have a pro here.
Vaping contains dangerous chemicals and the same addictive ingredients found in cigarettes.
So again, an easy, simple way to get the conversation started with your students and find out where they already are in their knowledge, where they need to get, and you can really help them through these activities. Notice as I click through, there's 9 questions. So like I said, you can add the movement pieces of jumping jacks and toe touches, the thumbs up, thumbs down, or if you have a smart board and the ability to use the touch feature, students could come up and select what they think the correct answer is as well. To utilize this lesson, if you do not have access to QuaverHealth and PE, here is that QR code. Feel free to pause the screen and scan that QR code. And if you are a QuaverHealth and PE user, simply go in and type in true or false. And when you type in true or false, it's going to pull up these activities for you. Remember, this one is dangerous substances. So if you see true or false for any of the others, pick the dangerous substances one. There should also be a Spanish version when you search in Resource Manager as well. Don't forget, once you've opened it, go ahead and click that favorite button so that you can find it later in your My Favorites file. Those were just some quick, easy Red Ribbon Week resources that you can utilize with QuaverHealth and PE to promote a drug-free future. Let's just review those one more time. The first one was general health versus dangerous substances. Remember, to search for it, you just type in general health versus dangerous substances in Resource Manager. The next one was Zup and Dupe, which is going to be that little comic book with the aliens talking about healthy versus unhealthy choices. Again, you'll find that by searching Zup and Dupe in Resource Manager. Medicine, the music video, it's going to have that choreography the students can follow along with, and it's going to talk about over-the-counter and prescription medications and the proper and improper ways to use those. Again, search medicine in Resource Manager to find it. My reasons to say no. Remember, that's going to take you through the different dimensions of health and how they are affected by different substances. So as you go through, that's how you will utilize that. And remember to type in my reasons to say no in Resource Manager when searching for that activity. The next one was peer influence video questions. Simply type that into Resource Manager to find the activity. And remember that these are going to have that peer influences that don't just cover substances, but other peer influences as well. The next one was that true or false. We talked about how you can add the movement piece in, or you could do the thumbs up, thumbs down, or use that touchscreen version for the kids so they can come up and select them as well. And remember to simply search true or false in Resource Manager's search area and pick the one for dangerous substances. Remember, as a QuaverHealth and PE user, should you ever want to share these tools out with a fellow teacher that does not have access, simply click on that QR code button and you can send them the QR code, or you can do copy resource link and share that link with them as well. Remember also, anytime you are in a lesson or in an activity and you need more information about a screen you're on, click on that notes area to get any notes about what you're going to be teaching. That was a quick and easy overview of just some fun, easy activities you can use for your Red Ribbon Week at your school. Hope you found it helpful. Thank you and have a great day.